welcome to the 38th episode of the Fourth and Skol podcast. As always, we are your hosts. I am Sam.
And my name is Patrick.
Pat, here's what's painful. You wait all year. It's week one, and the Vikings have won the week one the past few years. But here's the thing. It wasn't just week one. It was the Packers. And it was the one time in the year where we have the Packers at home.
Yep.
And we lost.
We didn't have fans.
We didn't have fans.
Our, arguably one of our biggest assets.
Seriously. No, I mean, and you look around the league and you see the other teams that rely on their fans for their defense, like the Saints. The Saints ended up figuring it out later in the game. They
did, right.
But you could see them on that first drive when Tom Brady ran the ball. Like they were sucking. They needed the fans.
Right.
Again, they figured it out, but it's going to be interesting to see how that no fan effect but I don't want to use that as an excuse.
Yeah, no excuses at all. No.
We couldn't get after it.
No.
You know what? I think our offense did well. Okay, hold on. I was going to say our offense did enough to win. They put up 30-some points, but they didn't stay on the field. I think it was a team loss. I'm gonna backtrack on that, and I think that it was a team loss yesterday. The defense held their own. The Packers had the ball, their first 3 times, and they kept them out of the end zone. It was 8-7.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna tell you why though.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you why exactly, because the first 3 possessions that the Packers had, that was them trying out this whole shifty new offense. We're throwing the ball to the wide receiver running across. We're doing more handoffs. We're doing this. We're doing that. They were getting all fancy.
Sure.
And then they went, wait a second. We've got Aaron freaking Rodgers, and we've got essentially rookie cornerbacks who are what are they, 16 years old?
I want to talk about our cornerbacks at some point. But
and then they switched it up, and then the game was as expected.
It just the offense couldn't stay out on the field. The defense got tired. I think the defense started to break down because they were getting tired. And here's the thing. We definitely felt no Danielle Hunter, and we definitely felt no Michael Pierce / Linval Joseph.
Yeah.
We could not get pressure on Aaron Rodgers to save our freaking life.
No.
Although I will say, Ngakoue was getting held every freaking play.
I was yelling at the TV. I was screaming.
I was shaking.
Oh, dude,
every single play.
It was so blunt.
The jerseys are.
It was so blunt.
He's holding them.
It was so blunt.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Again, not using that as an excuse because we got our asses whooped, but there were some penalties where it was like,
right,
what? And the rest were rusty, as were the Vikings and the Packers. But anyways,
I know. So we couldn't get to Rodgers. I think that was the first level of our defense. I thought the second level of our defense played okay. Kendricks
you mean the linebackers?
Yeah. Kendricks had another amazing game.
Phenomenal.
Barr broke down in coverage a couple of times, which is to be expected.
Right.
But really, it was our secondary that freaking burned us. Holton Hill. He had that one great pass breakup on 4th down in the red zone to turn over on downs that set up the safety.
Right.
But again,
you can't hold that against
No,
I'm not even going to give him credit for that because Devontae Adams was dropping the ball as he was going down.
He?
Yeah, because I was like, wait, was that a great pass breakup or did he just drop it? He dropped it, and then it helped that he hit his arms. But
Sam's hot take of the week.
Yeah, hit me.
Holton Hill is not good at football.
No. That's what I was trying to say. I was like, we were in this limbo where we had a glimpse of what he could have been.
Right.
And then the suspensions and the 8 games off, and then we got a dibble-dabble of him last year. We were like, eh.
You know who did play a pretty big role yesterday was Cam Dantzler, which he let a few things go by, but it was his first NFL game.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
It was his first.
That's exactly what I was going to say.
He had more bright spots than bad spots.
Yeah.
I think he played better than Holton Hill.
He played better than Holton Hill and Mike Hughes.
Mike Hughes, who only took the field for a few snaps, I think. I'm
sorry.
Dude, the Mike Hughes experiment is over.
It is. And what is it with Zimmer and these tiny quarterbacks? I know. They're literally children out there.
They're so small, and you have these huge wide receivers. Devontae Adams, who's huge.
He's the smallest. Christian last week.
Alan Lazard
is 6'5".
Yeah, it's nuts.
It's nuts.
What are we doing?
And I got to do a little tit-tat with Curtis Allen. He's like, oh, did we still need a wide receiver? I'm like, no, you freaking didn't.
I guess not. But so we'll see how the Packers shake out as the season goes on.
Yeah.
But you see, Mike Zimmer inherited Xavier Rhodes.
Yeah.
Granted, he turned Xavier Rhodes into what he was, and then obviously he had a downfall. But he didn't draft him. He was our last big body guy. Trey Waynes was a little bit smaller, but still bigger than most of these guys.
Right.
But I don't know what the deal is. I was watching the Rams last night, and Jalen Ramsey, who's talented by all good, but he has the physical attributes. He's a big guy, and he's able. he's able to make those plays, and also he's able to sell on those offensive pass interference.
He really does.
That was hilarious. Which, by the way, just a sidetrack for a little bit, that should not have been offensive pass interference.
I actually didn't see the play,
but it was freaking nuts. So it was Michael Gallup. His hands were extended, but like they were extended the whole way down. They were hand fighting as Michael Gallup's hand was extended.
Yeah.
And as the ball came in, Jalen Ramsey just does this. He just falls backwards.
I can't stand flopping.
I know, but it was the most ridiculous open, and that would have set them up for a game tying field goal.
Yeah. Here,
just to finish on that note, it was offensive pass interference. It was not offensive pass interference, but there should have been a roughing the passer a few plays before.
Oh, sure.
So it
canceled
was
it. Yeah, right.
Anyway,
so here's the thing about playing the Packers and Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you can't get pressure on him. Do you know why? Because he gets rid of the ball so fast.
No,
yes, he does.
He gets rid of the ball fast when he gets pressure on him, sure. But when his offensive line is holding, which is every single play, his offensive line was holding on every.
Yeah, but the moral of the story is though he gets rid of the ball fast. Arguably, if I had to look back at some statistics, he's probably one of the quickest releases. Okay, because you felt like we didn't have any pressure on him because he got rid of the ball so fast.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, our offensive line yesterday did not give us enough time. And so I think we needed to do something for the play to develop. So we needed to do something. Gary Kubiak did not make any halftime adjustments, in my opinion.
They never do.
And it's just our offensive. I have so much I want to say.
I can't blame them because we are a team that's a slow developing team. That's just that we are playing 2000 style football and everyone else is playing 2020.
Yeah,
that's my problem.
Nuts. And we have these Gary Kubiak, old man Kubiak, running offense like it's 1968.
That's what I'm trying to say.
It's freaking nuts.
I know. And as much as I want to give Zimmer another 3 years that he has,
you know what? I'm a Mike Zimmer apologist, but after yesterday,
they were not prepared at all.
They were not prepared at all.
And I know we had COVID, but guess what? Every team had COVID. I know we didn't have preseason, but guess what? Every team didn't have preseason.
Exactly.
There was no preparation for that at all. And we never do against Rodgers.
What pissed me off the most? I was so mad when in the fourth quarter after the Packers throw another touchdown, Aaron Rodgers goes to the sideline, not even sweaty. Sipping on a little Gatorade, and it's just like
that was cake.
That was
preseason for him.
That was preseason.
He played a full preseason game yesterday.
It was freaking
and it was
nuts.
Game 4 preseason that he played. That's what that felt like.
It was nuts.
That was to be expected, though. I'm going to be honest with you. Okay, the beginning when we were in it was 7-8. I was hyped. I was like,
we
this
put
is what
together
I'm talking
a great
about.
drive.
The first drive was beautiful. We had a couple deep shots to Adam Thielen. We had a couple run plays. We scored right off the bat.
Yeah, that
Cousins
was beautiful.
looked good.
And then all of a sudden,
here's where it all turned. That freaking fourth down stop on the goal line was amazing, and then we got burned on that on the corner safety blitz. What I wish I knew was that a poor scheme? Did Cousins not even see at all him creeping up? Because you saw him creeping up all the way.
I put that safety wholly on Gary Kubiak. You're gonna tell me with our offensive line and how they are in pass blocking, you're on the 1 yard line. Kirk drops back to pass, and you're not gonna keep a tight end for blocking.
Okay, that's
or
what I was
keep your
say.
running back back there.
That's why I'm glad you said tight end because Cook had to get the middle linebacker, which he did, and the safety the cornerback just came in. It was Alexander.
Yeah,
there was no tight end on that end.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So to me that's wholly on Gary Kubiak.
Probably.
I was not a fan of his play calling yesterday, and it's gonna be. I wonder how much last year the play calling was Kevin Stefanski and how much was Gary Kubiak. If it was more Kevin Stefanski and we're in the Gary Kubiak experiment now,
right?
It's gonna be a long season.
It's gonna be a long season.
It's gonna be a long season.
So. How did you think the offense played? The Kirk Cousins and give me your general opinion.
So I thought Kirk played well. He had that interception was wholly on him. That interception.
When I saw that and I watched the replay multiple times, the air from my body left and I felt like I died.
Dude. Okay, that interception was on Kirk, but there were some other light spots that I liked.
No, I want to talk about the interception some more.
Okay, go ahead. Talk about the interception.
That was garbage. That was absolute garbage. That's an out route. You know how many times Aaron Rodgers threw out routes that entire game? Devontae Adams on the dime, on the effing dime, whether it was 5 yards, 10 yards, 15 yards, the whole game.
100%. But that was one play. I thought
that was a big play though. That was the whole game. The whole game shifted after that.
Very big play. But if we're talking about, if we're trying to find,
we're a momentum team. We lost the momentum.
If we're trying to find a silver lining, the silver lining is Kirk was doing a lot of things. He was escaping the pocket when the protection was.
I will give you that. That I enjoyed. Yes,
he threw a lot of deep dimes to Thielen.
Yes,
he threw
I will
those
give
2
100%.
deep dimes, one in the end zone and one to set up another touchdown.
I will give him that.
And he was playing very well. I was not our offensive line. They run blocked well like they always do, but they cannot pass protect to save their. I was pissed. I sat here in our very first episode talking about how excited I am for Ezra Cleveland, and then he was a healthy scratch.
Yeah,
like come on, like what? And then Riley Reef misses every freaking block. I'm so mad at our offense. I feel like we have all the pieces in place except for our offensive line.
Yeah, and our cornerbacks.
Arguably. Yeah,
2 of the most important positions in football.
I have high hopes for Cam Dantzler. I think he's going to
he
win
gets a pass.
Spot.
Okay, here's what I want. I want Cam Dantzler and I want Gladney,
yeah,
to play for the rest of the season. Yeah, I don't care if next week they suck. It's another 400-yard game, 5 TDs. So, I don't give a shit. Let them get the reps in so that at the end of the season, when we do sneak out a couple of the wins, we're still in it and they've got the experience.
Here's why I think Holton Hill is going to keep his job, though.
He cannot. He sucks.
He can't. He sucks. But here's why I think he was on his receivers like butter on bread.
Okay, yeah, there were times
coverage was tight, but he just doesn't have.
Small.
He doesn't have the technical abilities.
And he doesn't have the arms.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
He's lacking the physical attributes. I'm sorry. He should not be a corner. I'm sorry.
Especially against Rodgers when you've got a bunch of these, it's just a bunch of crossing patterns and he just puts it where it needs to be.
I mean, maybe he can cover a Danny Amendola. Sure, maybe. But you can't put him on
a slot type guy. A slot type guy.
Maybe Holton Hill's a nickel guy.
We are built with a bunch of slot cornerbacks.
I know.
Holton Hill, Mike Hughes. I'm sure you could go down the list. There's just a bunch of slot cornerbacks. There's these tiny 5'10", 5'11", maybe.
Yeah. I
think I was just so shocked at how poor we said it on the first episode that the cornerbacks was going to be our big question mark, and we were going to justify it with this, and we got this, and we got that. Oh, we got the best middle linebacker core, the best safety core, the best DN core. But we were like, but there's this.
But you know what? Here, the Packers recognize that, and they exploited it.
Yeah.
And they exploited it.
Rodgers does that. Yeah.
They didn't do. I think they threw one deep ball.
Yeah.
But otherwise, they avoided our safeties.
And,
like they were
the reason why I laugh is because I think Rodgers he knew that they needed to practice. I'm going to say practice all the fun, shifty stuff that they did in the first quarter, maybe the first half, whatever. And then they're like, okay, let's just put an end to this. We're going to hit these cornerbacks. They're not going to know what's coming. You know how many times it was literally a 10 to 15-yard up and out, and Holton Hill or whoever is running the opposite direction, like feet are twisted, like completely turned around. It was every time on the out routes, every single time.
I know.
And I know I'm not a cornerback, but frick, man, that is like basic 101.
Basic 101.
Cornerback type. It's going to be a long season,
It's going to be a long season. And our cornerback situation, I just feel like if we solved that, we say this every year. I feel like if we just solve the quarterback issue, we'd get over the hump. I feel like if we just solve the corner issue, we'd get over the hump. We say that every year, but honestly, if this isn't the year, I know Mike Zimmer just signed his extension, but if this isn't the year, I don't know if he's going to be the guy to lead us to the promised land.
Well, that's exactly it. And I was just thinking the other day, do you remember when we first signed Mike Zimmer?
Yeah.
And there was a buzz in Minnesota. It was this defensive guru. It was everybody was like, okay.
And I have no regrets about what Mike Zimmer's done for us.
But what I'm trying to get at though is that that chip on your shoulder type thing that is in the back of a team's mind is no longer there. We're not the Zim Reapers anymore. People aren't afraid of us like they were the first 3 years he was here.
2017.
That's gone. It's not there anymore. And we don't have that thing that players can get behind.
Right.
And it's usually the quarterback, generally speaking. But we don't have that thing. We just don't.
No.
We don't.
You're right.
You need to have the lead heading into the third quarter, or where it's going to be kind of like this. We're always going to be in it. We're always going to be in it, and we weren't even in it because it was all garbage time. In my opinion, yes, that was garbage time.
I'm glad you brought that up because it was not garbage time.
It was garbage time.
It was not garbage time.
Did you honestly? No, honestly, I want you to look me dead in the face. Did you think at any point with how that entire game went from the second quarter on all the way to the fourth quarter that you thought we had a prayer to our name to come back and win the game. Did you see any of the cornerback play? That wasn't going to just magically change, and all of a sudden you've got tight, stuck-to-glue type defense on the corners and the wide receivers.
Pat,
that game was done.
Pat. It was not garbage time.
That was... Okay. I'm exaggerating. It wasn't garbage time in the sense that we were just like chipping away all the way down the field. But the cornerbacks they just wanted to keep us in the field to play so the clock was running. That's what that was,
Listen,
Sam. I ran into John across the street, and he said you were all.
So here's the thing: when John,
please,
I forget what the score was. Forget what it was.
Yeah.
But anyway, John's like, Sam, the game's over. There's like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Yes, it was.
And I'm like, John, the game's not freaking over. We just need to get a stop. And
delusional.
Kirk's throwing a couple of deep balls to Thielen already.
You're delusional.
By the time the game was over,
they put up 45
By
points?
the time the game was over, the Vikings had more points than the Packers did at that point in time, which John said it was over. Our offense had enough gas in the tank.
That
Our defense was just out.
Matter.
Our defense was just they couldn't do anything.
That doesn't matter. You don't get it. I don't think you get it.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
There's being like hopeful, and then there's like stupid hopeful. I don't know what the word is. We weren't going to win that game. It was done. You saw Mike Zimmer. He was red in the face the whole game. He looked like he was going to eat that playbook and kill somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the game, he said, "Oh, we got to get better quicker." I mean, what are you just going to magically turn these guys around?
Here's the thing.
I mean,
okay. It was a team loss. The offense let the defense down.
And it was against Aaron Rodgers, so it was expected to be a loss.
The offense let the defense down in the first half, and the defense let the offense down in the second half. That's just how it was. We didn't make it. We usually are fantastic at making halftime adjustments. We made no halftime adjustments.
We couldn't get any pressure, though. That's where it all started on the defense.
Right.
And, how did I forget? How many times on 3rd and 4 do we need to jump off sides with no fans?
Everson Griffin's not even on the team.
But he's with us. He's there. I thought Everson Griffin was playing. I thought Everson Griffin was out there.
Here's what you do. I've said this before. This is an idea that came from my father-in-law. Shout out Brian Edgren. If you jump off sides, especially against the Packers, just frickin' go.
Yes.
Just beeline for the quarterback.
Yes,
don't give him a free frickin' play.
Yeah. And on the one where he hit Scantling on the deep bomb, and I don't think he scored, but it was like on the 1 yard line.
Come on, guys. Just freaking
go. It's blown. It's over. Everyone knows.
Everyone knows.
Greg Jennings was saying, too, he was laughing. He's like, oh, everybody knows on the Packers. Like, whoever's the fastest to get down to the other side of the field to get the ball.
Yeah. When somebody jumps off sides and they snap the ball, all bets are off. The play is no longer the play they called.
I'm going to get pissed drunk when Rodgers retires.
You know what? I don't know.
This isn't just classic Vikings fans right here. Like, I
just don't know.
Hopeful heading into even the first 2 quarters. I was like, hell yeah. I'm like, wow, this looks good.
We have the ability. That's what bothers me. We have the ability. Look at that first drive we put together. We have the ability to do it. What happened?
I know.
I can blame the refs for not calling holding penalties on Ngakoue. I can blame the frickin' I can blame people till the cows come home, but at the end of the day, we have the ability to do it, and we don't.
I have one quick thing I want to say. Okay, I personally don't think the Viking coaches have enough faith in Cousins. I really don't.
Yeah,
I know they know he can make the plays. He's a NFL quarterback, for crying out loud. Like, he's gonna make those deep throws that he made. Whoa, good job, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, you were expected to make those throws, and they were great. I love that.
Right.
It made me happy. They don't have enough faith in him.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right.
He's almost like the Derrick Henry of running backs in a quarterback perspective.
Yeah.
He needs the reps. He needs the repetition. He gets stronger as the game goes on.
I think at halftime he had 2 throws. He was 2 for 2.
And that's not even our fault because the safety put us back. We had no time with possession there.
Yep.
And then the interception, and it was like there was no time to really get it going.
Sure.
But they don't have enough faith in him.
No, I completely agree.
And it sucks.
I completely agree. I think we have the ability to be a passing offense. I know we're run first, and that's Zimmer's thing.
And let me say one thing. Cook, Madison, and the offensive line are not a team that needs reps to get it going either. Like,
they can just light it up.
Where you got the Derrick Henrys, you got the ones who need Mark Ingrams. They need like 30 carries a game to get going.
Right.
And that team, as a cohesive unit, they thrive on that. We don't need that. Cousins needs that.
So I'm glad you said that, because that Cousins has the ability.
Yeah.
Just like I said, our whole team has the ability.
Yeah.
But when you're not executing and you have the ability, that's on the coach.
Yes, I know.
That's on the coach.
Exactly. And that goes back to what we've talked about. This is some early 1900s style run first offense where they don't have helmets and they're just running the ball.
Exactly.
It's frustrating.
I think
Sam, there's 3 more years of this.
I have no regrets about when we brought Mike Zimmer in, the team that Mike Zimmer has turned us into.
Right,
I think
exactly.
that he was an important part of our story up until this point. But I think that the Mike Zimmer era might be coming to an end.
Yes.
Or it might have to come to an end.
I want to say that I said that back when we extended him, and I know the caveat that everyone says is well, who else are you going to sign? Like it's so hard to find a quarterback or a coach, whatever.
Right.
And it is hard. But at what point, banging your head against the wall repeatedly, do you say, "Ouch"?
Who's that offensive coordinator that works for the Kansas City Chiefs? Eric Bieniemy or something like that.
But come on home, buddy.
No, it was a big deal that he didn't get a job last year, because Super Bowl winning Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid pedigree, and he didn't get a head job, and so he's going to be available.
I'm so sick of this conservative style offense and defense that we run.
I know.
Even how much we used to blitz when Zimmer first came around has severely diminished. We used to blitz.
I know, we used to blitz all the time.
Like that was it.
All
like
the
you were like, okay, there's
the
3 downs. Vikings are going to blitz on all 3 downs. There's a chance of that.
Here's the thing though. Blitzing doesn't really work when the refs aren't calling holding penalties on the offensive line.
Sure, but in general, okay, so the reason why it's hard for me to be as critical is because Rodgers is that good. He's that good. He is in my humble opinion, he is the best quarterback that I've ever seen in my era. No, I'm going to defend him here. Okay.
Patrick Mahomes.
Well, we're going to give him a few more years to flourish. And then I'm going to say that. But he's that good where you can't do what you would like to do against a Matt Ryan or a Tannehill. Like those guys, when you pressure them, they feel it. That's like Kirk Cousins. When he gets pressured, he gets small.
I'll agree. If you take the average over the last 10 years, he's probably the best.
Exactly. Sure. But I'm saying
every other
quarterback,
he's in the top 5, but
every other quarterback, when you give them pressure, you even push them down. You kind of rub them on the shoulder. It gets in their head, it's like a mosquito.
A little bit. Yeah.
Not with you can't do it with Rodgers.
Because he'll get 15 yards every time.
Exactly. So it's like we have to kind of be careful what we're saying, and it's week 1 against the Packers. We almost expected that.
Wasn't there a scandal that came out in the offseason that the Packers had the refs in their pocket or something like that? There was some story that I'm going to do a little research, and we're going to post it on the Fourth and Skol page.
No, go ahead and post that. That's all you, buddy.
I'm just gonna slander the Packers until the cows come home. But I think I'll find it. And if not, I'll write a blog post about it. There's so much. I think our offensive line lost us the game. I think our cornerbacks lost us the game.
I have one more quick question.
I think Cook and Madison played well. I think our wide receivers played well. Justin Jefferson got his first reception. I want to see him get more involved.
I think he's quick. I think if he gets the ball on a couple slants, he can kind of do what Diggs does, where it looks like it's a 10-yard catch, but then he gets 20.
Exactly.
I'm looking forward to that.
Diggs, 8 receptions, 86 yards.
He did well.
He did well.
The Bills played well. It was the Jets, but
what are you gonna do?
It's week 1. You win. In NFL, you win a game. You win a game.
Exactly. Division game too for them.
And division game. Oh, I was gonna say something that okay. Is it me or was there no crowd noise? Even the artificial.
Oh my god.
There was nothing. And then I'm watching Saints Bucks, and I'm like, oh, are they the second team other than Kansas who has fans? And then I see and there's no one there, and I'm like, why do they have crowd noise even though it's minimal? Did we not have?
So here's what I think. Here's what I think they were doing. I think they were manipulating the crowd noise above the allotted decibel level.
The Saints?
After the play was over. So when the play ended, they would do a cheer and then tone it back for the play. So, and I'm not sure if that's allowed or not, but here's what I think. I think that crowd noise, artificial, whatever.
Yeah, it's probably not much, but
here's the thing. If we're going to do crowd noise to mock what a crowd would be like, you need to give the home team the benefit of loud on defense, extra loud on defense if they're down. Turn it down a little bit when they're on offense. We need
not a monotone the
exactly.
whole game. There's a rumble.
Sean Payton was it just sounds like we're at a cocktail party.
Is that what
like,
I said?
It doesn't this doesn't feel like anything.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. It'll be interesting. I think the Vikings are going to let people into the stadium after their first 2 home games, which I think is after the first 4 full games. So we'll see what this looks like in October. But man, it was weird.
I have to be honest with you, man. Like I love doing the podcast. I love everything about football. Like I'm having such a hard time. Like something's missing in me when I'm watching. No, like honestly, like there's just something. This year is just so effing messed up.
It is. No, I agree.
That the one thing I thought that I would be able to have back is in the year where we had quarantine, we did everything. Everything was just messed up this year. The one thing I thought I'd have back was football.
Yeah.
And it's something in my heart is just a little piece of me is missing.
You know what we need? Do you remember? I think it was it last year or was it 2 years ago where it was Monday Night Football and it was Rams Chiefs and it was an instant classic, just a shootout.
Oh, 51 to like 49. Yeah.
We need one of those games. That will shake off all the roast.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that needs to be a Vikings game. I'm just saying the NFL needs one of those games.
The NFL does, but also to take a step further for the Vikings need a shutout defensive performance.
Yes.
To get us into that mindset again. Like, hey, this is who the Vikings are.
And we'll talk about this on the next episode, but we're taking on the Colts next week. I think this might be a good opportunity.
They lost to the Jags.
Dude,
are the Jags even
They're
a
still
football
trying to figure it out. We'll be able to burn Xavier Rhodes. It'll be great. This might be where we get the mojo back.
Is this on the road?
It is on the road.
Yeah, okay. We do need the reason why I like games like these is because you need pick-me-up games.
Yeah.
Not relax and take your foot off the pedal because it's the NFL.
They're definitely they're a great team, and I think they went to the playoffs last year.
Yeah, but they were a whole different identity.
Well, yeah, but they've upgraded at the quarterback position.
No, I think that I would argue they've downgraded.
Oh, really? You take Jacoby over Phil?
Not even that. I'm just saying. Oh, Jacoby was the. Oh, I see. I didn't realize that's who that was. Okay, yeah, that's maybe a little upgrade. I couldn't remember who it was. I was like, who is after Andrew Luck? But yeah, it was Jacoby. Phillip Rivers, in my opinion, is what Kirk Cousins is going to be looked like at the end of his, minus having 9 kids.
A lot of people.
Can you agree with that?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Like they'll always be the 4,000 passing yards a season.
Yeah,
the 30
great.
touchdowns.
Yeah, he's great. But then all of a sudden, like, why don't you ever win?
Why
you're great. Your stats are great. Why do you never?
Why is there's no rings on your finger? Hang on. Hang on. Are you turning? Is that Kirk Cousins' leaf that was literally super glued to the sidewalk that I can't pick up without destroying it? Is it turning?
No.
Am I converting you?
Pat, I've never been never been some guy that's just out of bounds on my opinions on Kirk Cousins. I just believe that he has the ability. You just said it yourself. Yeah, you'll have 4,000 yards, 30 touchdowns, and half that in interceptions. What?
But you know how much statistics don't effing matter when you really boil it down.
Here's why. So Phil
stats matter when you get a freaking player's card out of the deck of cards you open. You're a little kid. You're like, oh yeah.
But here, I'm going to tell you why people like Phil Rivers and Kirk Cousins haven't been winning as much as they should have. It's the team.
No.
They have the ability. They just don't have the team.
What about the team? How much of a team can you really... Can we agree, though? Can we agree?
Just give me a corner. Give me one tall cornerback that can lock down...
That was Rhodes, and then he fell off a cliff.
What happened to that guy?
Dude, I honestly don't know.
We've been talking about it for 3 years. What happened to that guy?
Like I think we both said last year, I have never seen a player literally fall off the face of the earth in the sport. To that degree. Literally just fell off. I don't know. Injury, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't even know how he did against the Jags, but they lost. So
they lost.
I would like to see what his stats look like.
Gardner Minshew was throwing to him.
Oh, dude. That's okay.
It's week 1.
It's week 1. Yes, exactly.
And I think you said this on our last episode was that losing week 1 just hurts extra because it just feels like you're always trying to get back to square one.
So I'm going to try and put a twist on it. While there's that side of it, you can look at it the other way. I hope the Vikings didn't go into this thinking we were better than we really were. Because this was more of a humbling moment.
Yes.
And I'd rather be humbled week 1.
Yeah.
God forbid it be the freaking Packers, but it was, whatever. I'd rather be humbled week 1 than week 5 or 6 when we're like, oh, we're not that good.
I completely agree. Why did the NFL schedulers make week 1 a division week? Like,
so dumb.
So dumb. So, I mean, when we had our podcast, I was like, yeah, no, we have all offseason to prepare for. It should be a good game.
No.
It was just looking at it around the league. It was just so
bad.
dumb.
Yeah, and I know the preseason games, not even preseason games, it was a bigger factor.
Week 1, you need to shake off the rust, especially when there's no preseason. There was a lot of rust yesterday across the entire NFL.
And there's no reason why you're playing a division rival week 1 when you're rusty. Especially, I know they didn't.
And those division games mean so much.
They do.
They mean so much.
Yeah, you look at the end of the season, you're like, wow, well, we lost to them twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're still like, you won 10 games, but you're like, we lost to them twice. And they're up there with us too, and they've got the head advantage.
Which, speaking of the division, did you see the Lions? Matt Stafford won them that game. And
My heart.
And what that dude's name is, I don't even know.
The running back?
The running back.
Matt
Stafford won them that game.
My heart hurt for the Lions.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I saw the throw, and I was like, wow, I was like, wow, he's wide open. And then he like turns around, the ball just goes flying. And you're like, no. And they need a touchdown. They can't kick a field goal.
All right, Pat, would you rather lose like the Vikings lost, or would you rather lose like that?
No, how we did. Because when halftime rolled around, I accepted it. I did. I really did. No,
we scored that field goal. Field goal,
which, by the way, we didn't deserve the field goal because did they call a helmet to helmet on the Rudolph catch there? Because that was BS, man. The refs were so bad last night that it was on both sides of the ball.
They were bad on both sides. Yep.
While we didn't get our holding calls, I'm just looking at this objectively as an unbiased fan
against the Packers. Yeah,
that wasn't a penalty at all. Okay, that put us in field goal position.
So I was so mad that.
How about the Devontae Adams touchdown? Like, you couldn't. Yeah. The NFL is $1 billion industry, and they had no camera angles.
Thank you for bringing that up. Thank you for bringing that up because I was so mad. No way he was in. No way that foot was in.
You couldn't tell.
You can't tell because there's no camera on the feet.
There's no camera angles
on the feet.
None
for a touchdown
in the end zone.
There's no cameras on their feet.
It's $1 billion industry.
Roger Goodell makes like $40 million a year.
He does. It's a joke. That was a joke.
I want to know how much Al Riveron makes.
And there's a chance that he caught it, but we don't know. And then here's what was funny. Whoever the commentator was like, well, that was the ref. He had the best angle with it. We got to believe it. And then like later on, Devontae Adams catches like a pass and he has like 2 feet in and he goes out and then they reviewed it. It's like clearly he had 2 feet in. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But they called it incomplete because he bobbled it? I don't even know what we're playing anymore. That was a catch. They said he bobbled it?
Yeah,
that wasn't some like Des Bryant catch where he like put the ball down.
We're getting into a lot of issues. Like, what is a catch?
Dude.
We've been asking that question for years now.
What is a hit? We don't know what's going on. The league is becoming so soft.
Oh my gosh. And here's the thing. I don't mind getting back to that Devontae Adams touchdown. I don't mind them calling it a touchdown because they automatically get reviewed. Let's get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But show me the freaking camera angle.
I just wanted to see his feet. If he caught it,
wanted to see his feet.
If he caught it, great. It was a beautiful catch and pass.
Cool.
It was amazing.
Cool.
I was like, there's Rodgers doing that again.
But I just want to know. Like,
and we never will.
And we never will.
They didn't have a mother effing camera to see that. There was and Al Riveron or whoever that guy was had the audacity to say that, yeah, it stands. Like, it was a clear-cut evidence. I'm like, what? What? I don't even have a clue. You couldn't see because the defender's body on the back end of it, you couldn't see his feet at all.
Oh, and by the way, it turns out the NFL is not they're not confirming calls anymore.
Oh,
everything is
right.
either just going to stand or get overturned. And it's like,
what a baby way to... Yeah, what a crock of shit.
Al Riveron needs to get fired.
Dude, what a way to protect our referees.
Oh, my gosh.
Give me a break.
Give me a freaking break.
For 4 hours, your job is to make you the best calls you possibly can. I know you can't see everything, but there's like 8 of you on the field.
I know.
There was that one early on, too, where I was like, here we go.
Super old.
Kendricks, like, grabbed the guy, his pad, not his horse collar, and they had the audacity to call horse collar. And I was like, are you blind? You were looking at it. And then the back judge had to be like, it wasn't a horse collar.
Listen.
Man, I need blood pressure meds.
Alyssa's going to love this story. I adore my in-laws. I do. Yeah. I struck gold with the in-laws. They're about the same age as NFL referees. We were playing a game with them the other night, and they couldn't read the cards in their hand. And so they had their cheaters out. They even went so far as grabbing like a flashlight to like try to read them. And these like love my in-laws. But this These are the same eyes that are refereeing NFL football games.
Yes.
If you look at the NBA, they're all younger guys. Mm-hmm. They can all keep up with the athletes, and it's like I don't know what's going on with NFL referees, but we need to look at that whole system.
Yeah, it's just a whole hogwash.
Love you, Brian and Marty.
I'll make sure to send them that exact clip.
Maybe we should just edit that whole...
I'm not even going to post that on social media. I'm just going to send them that clip.
Don't.
I won't do that. Don't worry.
Oh, the referees are just so bad, and it seems like the Vinovich crew is exceptionally bad.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I want to say it's week 1, so they also didn't get their practice in, but it's like, what do you mean your practice? Like,
yeah, you're an NFL referee. Like,
holding is a holding.
Holding is holding.
Sometimes, yeah, they're gray and we get pissed off, but sometimes they're very blatantly obvious.
And it wasn't just the Vikings-Packers game yesterday. The refs were bad across the league.
Yeah.
Across the league.
There's no accountability.
Sunday Night Football, they didn't call a huge... It was Jared Goff interception.
Yeah.
But, so that's what I was getting... That's what I was talking about. Mm-hmm. So Jared Goff throws an interception in a critical moment in the game. Mm-hmm. And they don't call the roughing the passer. He nearly had his head decapitated by Aaron Donald. And they didn't call it. And it was a critical juncture.
Was that the play that you sent in the group chat?
No, that was a different play. Oh, okay. That was a different play. But, man. And then the offensive pass interference, that should not have been offensive pass interference. It's like, come on, you guys. So we pay you how much money a year?
I want to take this a step further, okay? There should be somebody who, I know, like, think about how hard it is to see plays as they're going live. Like, that's hard. That's very hard.
Difficult.
Same with the NBA. Like, people are grabbing each other. Sure. It's just like, we just blow the freaking whistle.
Yeah.
Why is there not somebody, almost like instant replay, who can be like, hey, buddy, not a pass interference. Like it just wasn't. Just
that's
quick,
what they're supposed to do in New York.
It wasn't.
That's the whole point of the studio in New York.
We're gonna give you pass
to do that.
You thought it was, and I get it because it's going fast. You don't know what's going on, but it wasn't. Just like say it wasn't.
They have that. It's the studio back in New York.
That's all you have to do.
They're supposed to have that.
That's all you have to say.
They're supposed to be able to radio you in and be like, no, guys, that was bad call.
It just wasn't.
Let's get it right.
Yeah, it just wasn't.
And they don't.
Just like the Saints game in the playoffs when the guy got just decked. It was like that wasn't a penalty.
For all of the XFL's fault, in this most recent iteration, when they were reviewing a play, the refs that were reviewing it were mic'd up so we could hear what their thought process was.
Thank you.
We could hear them discuss with one another and be like,
the NFL will never do that.
They will never do that. Why? Because Al Riveron and the referees are just building up whatever they want to do. And honestly, I'm not above them thinking that they're on the take.
Yeah. There's a little bit of money. You don't think there's thousands of dollars being put down?
Damn the Packers. I'm gonna libel everyone in the NFL. This whole thing is a scam.
Let's do an XFL podcast.
Let's do an XFL. Hey, The Rock bought the XFL. My Battlehawks live.
Dude, how about that for an investment? Bought it for like $7 million.
I know.
He was just licking his chops.
I know.
If that could get going, that's gonna be worth hundreds of millions someday.
It'll be great. No, it'll be great.
Man.
All right. Bringing it back to the Vikings. It was painful.
Yeah, it was very painful.
It was a painful week.
I will say, though, I'm not as hurt because I expected that. Even though I know we sat there and we wrote our win-loss predictions, and I know we said they were going to win, but that's just what you do. You're not going to... I can't...
Here's the thing.
Mouth the words, the Packers are going to win. It doesn't sit well with me. I can say that with the Bears and the Lions. I expected that. The second half came around, I laid down on the couch. I laid down. When I lay down, listen. When I lay down, I'm checked out and I'm just watching football.
As much as I hate the Packers, they are a very good NFL team.
Yeah.
We have a lot to be upset about with this loss, but we lost to a good team.
Yeah. They were an NFC Championship team last year. Granted, it was a fluke of a strung together season.
Now, so I'm not ready to raise the alarm quite yet. If we lose to the Colts, I'm raising the alarm.
Yeah. Sound the sirens.
Sound the sirens.
Sound the sirens.
Pat, at this time next week, we're going to be talking about how great the win was. It's going to be a sunshines and rainbows. Let's
Put week one behind us.
Yeah.
I want to feel that never-ending hope and then just have it slashed in the playoffs again. I live for that.
All right, join us next time on the Fourth and Skol podcast. We'll be previewing the Vikings-Colts game. And until then, Skol Vikings.
Thanks, guys.